Hello ukulele enthusiasts! Welcome to another very video edition of My First Ukulele. I am John Allnut, one of the writers and contributors for the My First Ukulele website. I'll leave a link in the description below for more great topics from My First Ukulele. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play the song Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Denver. Now this is a comprehensive tutorial and I'm going to show you multiple ways that you can play this song if you're a beginner or beginner intermediate, just based on your current level. Strumming this song is pretty easy. There's not that many syncopated rhythms you have to do, but you'll probably have to work on switching chords if you haven't done some of these chords before. Alright, so I've chosen to teach this song in the original key, which is the key of A major. Oh, if you're wondering why this ukulele sounds a little bit different than normal, if you've seen some of my other videos, I've got a banjo-lele here. So it's the same tuning as what you have on your ukulele. It is a low G instrument, but I just thought, kind of country sound, let's use a banjo-lele. Alright, so our first chord in the song is A. That is fret 2, fret 1, fret 0, fret 0. So it sounds a little bit like this. In the original song there would be some sort of solo. And then let's go into the verse here. This is the very first part of the song. So we begin with A, almost heaven. Our next chord is F sharp minor. Okay, now F sharp minor is easy to get to from A. You're just going to add a ring finger on fret 2. So from the ceiling to the floor, my chords are now 2, 1, 2, 0. And I'm referring to the fret number there. So fret 2 under my nose, fret 1, fret 2, and fret 0. Okay. Now, E chord is notoriously difficult on the ukulele. However, it does work out in this song that we can play an E7 instead. Okay, so let's make an E7. If you've seen some of my other videos, we have done this one before, but if this is your first, I'll help you out with it. So you're going to go to your very first fret under your nose, fret 1, then you're going to go fret 2 on the next string, fret 0, and then fret 2. Sounds a little bit like that on the E7 chord. Alright, our next chord is a D chord, and that is just 2, 2, 2, 0 on the word Shenandoah River. Okay, so you can make that a few different ways. You could use pointer finger, then middle finger, then ring finger. That works pretty well if you're using a tenor size ukulele, or if you've got small fingers, you might be able to squeeze that in on a concert size. Another way that you can do that is use your middle finger, ring finger, or pinky. I prefer that method because it frees up your pointer finger and it makes it a little bit easier to squeeze all those fingers in because your pinky is the smallest. Right? Now, if you're a little bit ambidextrous or double jointed, I guess you'd say, you can also just flatten that finger across the top 3 strings underneath your nose. So I'm barring fret 2, 2, 2, and then I'm leaving the A string open down here. So that's another way that you could do your D chord. I prefer that one if I can make it sound good, because it's so easy to get there quickly and I don't have to look down and make sure that I'm hitting the right notes of the right chord. Alright, and then we end this lyric on this line with an A. Okay, Shenandoah River. Okay, so I'm not going to work on this section very long with you, but I do want to go over these transitions on the very first part of this first verse. Okay, so generally we're going to have about 8 strums per chord. It's going to go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Almost heaven, F sharp minor. West Virginia, E7. Blue Ridge Mountains, D, Shenandoah River. Alright, let's pause for a second. So I said generally there are 8 strums each. The D on Shenandoah, I believe, is only 4. Okay? So that's kind of how the first line of music sounds. Let's go on with the next line. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. And this is the same chord sequence, so let's go through it. 1, 2, 3. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze, country roads. And I'm going to end right there. We're right on the chorus right now. Country Roads, Take Me Home. The chord sequence here is A, E7, F sharp minor, and D. So it's kind of just a retelling of the chords you just had, just in a little bit different order from before. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, E7. Take Me Home, D, Country Roads. We're going home to the home key, which is A. Okay, so let's do all of the chorus. 1, 2, 3. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. I have a fun little tip for you also if you'd like to try it out. If you make an A chord, and that was, remember, 2, 1, 0, 0. Sometimes when you're not singing, you can simply take off your pointer finger. It does that, but you have to kind of resolve it because it'll just be an A minor otherwise. So what you do is you do something called a hammer-on. You hammer on that note with your pointer finger. You just do it hard enough where you can get the note to speak out without having to strum it. So I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a fun little trick that you can use. It kind of spices up the accompaniment to the song a little bit. So far we've done an intro of the song, which was all A chords. We did our first verse. We did our first chorus. And then we're on to our next verse and next chorus. And other than the words, they're pretty much the same, so I'm going to leave this part for the run through. Well, let's take a look at this next section. This is I Hear Her Voice. So we start with an F sharp minor. I hear her. We're going to E7. Voice in the morning hour. A, she calls me. D, the radio. A, reminds me of my home far away. And driving down that road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads. And after this line of music, you are going to pause a little bit. Yesterday, stop. Country roads. It has a dramatic pause in there, all right? The other little note here on this third verse is that it seems like it moves faster, and that's because the chords only get strummed 4 times. Okay, so last time I showed you this, I only did the chords in place where the words go, but you're going to strum each chord 4 times, just like this. 1, 2, 3. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down that road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads. Guess what? We just do the chorus twice at the end of the song, so it's pretty simple as we go through. So definitely one of the more simple songs that we have. I would also suggest when you get to the choruses of the song, instead of strumming them just like this, instead of that, I would suggest trying to do a little bit faster strum if you can, and that strum would be down, up, down, up, down, up. And before we were just playing quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And down, up, I mean eighth notes. So, country roads, take me home to the place. So you get a little bit more forward motion with it. And everybody knows the chorus of this song pretty much. If you do that on the verses, if you were to strum fast on the verses, the strumming could get in the way of the words a little bit, because you generally only sing each verse once in this song before we move on to the next thing. So you're telling the story. When you get to the chorus, you can have a little bit more forward motion. It sounds like we're actually traveling down that road, that country road that we had in there. So I hope you enjoy playing along with me on this one. I'm going to do a run through of this with you real quick, and then we'll wrap up. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Da 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 da. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear a voice in the morning hour. She calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down that road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's content, please hit like and subscribe to the channel below. I'm John, and until next time, happy strumming. Bye-bye.